Wow, what up, y'all? DJ Rooster back at it again for some more Rooster talk. Fun fact: did you know the word W? Well, the word for the letter. See, I always got that confused. Like the word for the letter. You know what I'm saying? Because W is a whole word for the letter W. But in some languages, and by some I mean Spanish, the one I know, the W is actually called W, which is double V. As a kid, I always thought W was weird because it's like it looks more like a double V. Well, it could be both. I was like, why isn't it called double V? Because W is like two U's and it's lowercase, but the V represents the uppercase. So I was like, why wouldn't it be called the uppercase version? You know what I'm saying? Double V. But I mean, W just flows off the tongue way better. But W rolls off the tongue too. So I guess it really matters which one rolls off the tongue in your language. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was looking it up to double check, and apparently some people call it V double. I didn't even look at that. I said, all my life I've heard double V. I never heard the switch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, W. Well, speaking of the W, welcome y'all. Welcome to the channel where we cover WNBA, NBA, sports, music, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm your boy, DJ Rooster. Now come on in and wake your ass up. We just getting started here. Now let's go cover some WNBA action because we ain't talking about the NBA. You know, last night we had two amazing WNBA games. Like, god damn. So glad I skipped the NBA. Now look, I'm glad the Spurs won. Fuck OKC, but like I said, that's about much. I'm done. But I got to bring it up a little bit because the officiating in the W, is getting terrible. They went from being way under officiated to way over officiated, especially in the tech departments. Like they're getting better at like calling like fouls, and I'm still glad they call a lot more offensive fouls. NBA don't call no offensive fouls, fucking garbage. But I'm glad that the WNBA actually calls offensive fouls. That's if y'all see my channel enough, y'all know that's one of my main issues is offensive fouls being called on the defense, and that hurts the defense more than anything in the game, more than traveling, you know what I'm saying, and carrying, more than any of that, more than losing hand checking, which hand checking never really went away. I mean, it went away a little bit, but you can still hand check. See, people just use words and don't really associate the meaning with the words. They just like to say the words that makes them feel better. But what even is hand checking? You just saying the thing. Oh, there's no hand checking. They just say that, but it's not true. You're just like making noises with your mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's weird as shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the games. I watch a motherfucker put his hands on somebody. They don't call a foul every time somebody put the hand on them. They just say you can't like push them and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can put a hand like that and hold your own space. You just can't knock them off of their pad. But people just be saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're too much in the W when it comes to text. Cause like the girl, it shit was clearly incidental contact. I think it was Jessie Shepard, you know what I'm saying? There I go. I keep forgetting to put my phone on silent. Yeah, look at me. But matter of fact, hold up. I'm gonna pause it. Hold up. All right, do not disturb. Yeah, here we go. So what was I? Oh yeah, officiate. Yeah. The Jessie Shepard. She was going for a move. She was going for a move, and she put her shoulder down. She accidentally hit somebody in the face, and they was reviewing it for like 15 minutes. They called text on the dumbest shit. It's a flagrant foul. Yeah, they called it flagrant. I'm like, bro, that's incidental contact. But okay, now part of my theory for this. Now here comes the conspiracy theories, But I strongly believe the officiating in the WNBA is heavily influenced by gambling. Now I know everybody's like, well, duh, but no, stay with me specifically because for the over unders. Because like the scoring is a lot more volatile in the WNBA. Players just aren't as nearly as consistent as the NBA. So there's so much more, volatility, as I just said. So in order to make sure they hit certain targets, they got to make sure, all right, now this game is going at a bad pace, and we need to hit the over. And then they'll go stretches where they're calling everything. And also free throw percentages are also lower in the W. Like I said, this is what it is. Like I said, just what it is. We speak fact here, all right? I don't get that much pushback. Some people say, most people don't understand the truth. Every once in a while you get a weird comment. But I'll just call it spade a spade. Free throw percentages are lower. So yeah, they need more in order to get to those target points. And then if they see you going too fast in the over, they'll just not call shit. Because eventually it's because the shot maker already is lower. You don't have to. There's less work you have to do in order to hit an under in a WNBA. And it's crazy because one of the channels I follow, I know this is. I always get split, reaction to when I start mentioning sports betting, and sometimes when I look back and watch my videos, because in my head I have like 8 different thoughts going through my head, and I'll get them kind of mixed up, and I notice I'll like start one half of a thought, and while I have another thought going in the back, I kind of like start in this one, and I'll leave people like in guessing like what the hell is he talking about, because in my brain I already know I finished the thought in my brain already, so I'm on to the next one, and I like mix them all together. So a lot of times when I'm like saying like nonsense words, kind of it's like it's 2 thoughts like fusing together, you know what I'm saying, as I'm trying to get them out, and I'm not keeping them separate in the back of my brain. So that's a quick little sidebar for that. So bear with me, especially when I have a lot of basketball flying in my head with it. So bear with me if some of my thoughts aren't as clear, you know what I'm saying, initially. But because of the shooting isn't as good, the officiating, that's really what I'm getting. That's how it feels, because like I said, that they'll just go stretches where it seems like they just really want them to get some points on the board. And then if they're scoring too much, they'll just not call nothing and allow for more physical play to help the score bring down. So that's my main theory. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's actually get into the games. What's the first one? The Wings versus the Aces. Man, this was a mother effing game. Now, first thing I will say. Fuck, I'm just gonna say it. Son, this is the first time I really watched Asia, because I watched it before. This is the first time I really watched it with like an analytical eye. And so she's like a shooter. Like she's so good at shooting the ball, and that bitch is so clean. But she does not look like no full-time MVP. Like, if you would have never told me anything about A'ja Wilson, and so far watching it this year, I'm like, son, she would just be another good player. She's not bad at any by any means, but she does not look like the best player in the league. She does not look like an MVP. She doesn't look like a 4-time MVP. Like she's so slow. She's way slower than I thought she'd be. She like jogs back a lot, but like not jog, but that's as far as she could go. You know how some people just have a slow speed? That's just how they are. A'ja, she doesn't look like she's like meandering. She looks like that's just her default settings. That's as fast as she can go. I'm just recognizing a pattern. Media, most of the shit that the media tells you is bullshit. Most of the narratives and most of the GOATs. Most of the GOATs that they tell you aren't actually GOATs. Tom Brady ain't the GOAT. It's Drew Brees. LeBron James, don't get me started. Not even close. Tom Brady is closer to being up there than LeBron James by far. Tom Brady is still, for me, like at least top 5-ish. No lower than like 8, you know what I'm saying? LeBron not even top 100. So I know y'all, he's not. I'm making a video of evaluating players. Because at the end of the day, total value, it's like your value is to the team, your overall skills total value. You might have high stats in one area, but if you have negative stats in other areas, then it affects you. You know, and for me, the best player means you need to add the least amount of value to this player to make this team a championship team. And with people like LeBron, there's so much work you have to do in order to get him to win the championship. Because first of all, you know, heliocentric players can't win unless you have all the shit that he has. That's why it's so hard. Yes, he has all these talent. He's a top 10 talent. Because of personality and all this, it's just too hard to build an effective team. There is so much energy you have to put into building a championship caliber team for LeBron. So that any top 10 player, you don't need to do that. Steph Curry, you put Steph Curry on a team of 4 bums and he's getting you somewhere. like Kobe Bryant took Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. You know, so when I say all that to bring back to Asia, when I'm looking at Asia, like son, she doesn't look like a person that's gonna just carry a bunch of garbage ass people to the promised land. She looks like a good player, but she seems just more like the media just push it because there weren't too many eyes on it, so there weren't enough people critically analyzing the game. Now, last year, I did hear some people, there was a small vocal group talking about, I forgot who they're saying. Maybe it was Jessie Shepard. Shit, because they'll say, oh, this other person should be MVP. By far, close. I forgot who it was. They said, it's like, Asia's a media thing, and these people are saying this other person. I really wish I could remember who it was. But it should have been Jessie Shepard. Let's turn that back. Son, I didn't know who the fuck she was. I didn't. This is what I'm talking about when you use your eyes. I didn't know who the hell she was. I had no media freaking, in my ear, nothing. I didn't put on none of my parlays. But yeah, because I split with people. I started talking for sports betting. Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier when I said I'm mixing ideas together. Because people tend to are very split when it comes to sports betting, and I used to put a lot of disclaimers and all that. And how I feel is, look, you shouldn't do it if you really need your money. Do expendable income. So just use expendable income. Any money you would use to go, buy a drink or whatever. But also, I get the dangers or whatever. But look, you are an adult. At the end of the day, you are freaking grown. And that's why I stopped doing the disclaimers. Teach your kids better. Sometimes you have to go through it to become the best version of yourself. So I get it. So I stopped doing the sports betting PSAs. You're grown. You can make your own decisions. If you don't like it, it is what it is. Right? Take initiative of your own agency. All right, so back to Jessie Shepard. So so I would normally put Paige back because I'll take Paige 20 points, rebounds, and assists. She cashed me. I think there's only like one game where she didn't cash that, but I'll just use that as a parlay buffer. You know what I'm saying? I'll make a straight bet, and then I'll use a couple high percentage buffers, and then that way I can hedge more effectively. Yes, I'll reduce my overall winnings, but I guarantee. I have a higher probability of winning something because of the hedge. And it was more effective to hedge when you put those small little bumpers. So I always put Paige. I used to put Rika, Aguma Wally, but she was burning me too much. I just stopped with Paige. So Rika was good in the 1v1s. She hasn't been doing as well this year as I expected her to do. But so I'm watching Jessie Shepard. I'm just like, but I always notice her name. Her lines are always the most juiced on there. So I was like, I don't know who this is, and I don't pick people that I don't know, that haven't seen with my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm watching this game today, and she leapt off the screen. She was like Jokic. Like, she really, she's an MVP. Like, she's my MVP for the year for right now. Because there's a certain aura, man, when she was like, give me the motherfucking ball. She was little girl in all of them. So it was a wild game. I highly suggest if they have the full games, like watch the full game on YouTube. Because WNBA, they actually have like full games on YouTube. And you can tell when she was in takeover mode and when she was letting everybody else eat. because when they was up comfortably, and then Jessie ain't touched the ball a little bit, and the Aces started coming back. She demanded that. She was like, "Hey, give me that motherfucker. I ain't playing with y'all. None of them can hold me. Asian ain't want none of that." And that's what Sean was like, "Son, I hear you. It was that. Asia should have went in there. You the star of the team. And you let Jessie Shepard eat y'all's lunch. 22, 20, and 10. And that's too much. I already put Aces on the no bet list. Like, I took one bet on them earlier year. They got blown off. Never again. I didn't touch Asia, not touch up. Because there's a lot of, popular teams like that I stay away from when it comes to that. Because, casuals are going to flood the money lines with that. So your books will be looking at that. So I'm like, popular teams that everybody knows, stay away. But I'm seeing Jessie Shepard. There was a play at the end of the game where Paige was fucking up. Hey, Paige is so unclutch. I like Paige, but like, son, they need a secondary ball handler to handle the end of game duties. Because, like, Paige was trying to sell that game. And, like, she was like, "Hey, give me the ball." And Paige looked, and she couldn't. And she was, like, very hesitant because she had just turned the ball over. And she didn't want to, risk it. Because too many females in the NBA can't bounce pass. My biggest, son, whip that bitch. Like, son, that's why Olivia's so good. She's like, son, how she bounce passes is incredible. But like, son, if you don't fake wraparound bounce shit, like, what are you doing? She had a seal on this side. Now look, the defense they was fighting. They was trying to deny hard. So Paige, she slung it to the wing on this side. Man, old girl who caught that bit, I looked at her eyes and body language. She was like, "I'm not passing this to nothing. I'm not holding it. I'm getting Jessie the ball now." She went out of her way. She was like, "Hey, I got it. Come here, bounce that bit. Jessie will go to work inside. Boom, little girl that bit. Oh, come on." I'm like, okay, I'm putting like a $5 bet on her to win the MVP this year. Especially now. See, the Aces, they were trying too much to put the ball in other people's hands. I think they had an injury to somebody. They had a couple injuries now. And now that's forced the Wings to run it through Jessie more. So Jessie is by far the best player. Like, by far, it's not even close. Like, it's not even close to close. She's like a fucking superstar. I've never heard of this person. I never heard nobody mention the name. I've never heard nobody... What I tell you about casuals, you know what I'm saying, and the media. Anytime the media is telling you a narrative, chances are it's wrong. That's why I talk about pattern recognition, recognizing these patterns. That's why the tagline of my channel, unique but correct takes. They're only unique because most people just can't sit back and observe reality and watch it, as is the case with Jessie Shepard. Now, although I've kind of been talking around that, it's been 20 minutes already. I've been talking, a lot about Jessie, but, she's become one of my favorite players. All right, I guess I can talk in circles around that forever. But let's go back to because I still got to talk about the Fever game. Not a 40-minute one, y'all. I can already tell. All right. Kennedy Carter, something. I always want to call it Kennedy. But Kennedy Carter, they call her a walking bucket. She started off 5 for 5, but let's see, she ended 6 of 11. She went 1 of 10. No, 1 of 5 for the rest of the game. Started 1 of 6. Yeah, she was 1 of 6 for the rest of the game. That's cold-blooded. Started out 5 of 5, ended up 6 of 11. See the old school clips. Oh yeah, and I like how those when you watch live. I like on like the computer. I like how they show like old school WNBA clips. Because contrary to the old heads of the NBA, the WNBA definitely had that golden age in the past. Now we're reached as of this year, we have reached the new golden age in the WNBA. WNBA is more talented in 1 year. Well, 2 years. Well, the bubble started, 3 years ago. Kayla Clark and Angel Reese come into the league. Because that's when the NIL took off. And like I said in the other video, y'all should check out my other short, NIL is the reason that the WNBA is as big as it is now, and both the NBA and the WNBA should be thinking NIL, because that's when more of these people are household names. The only reason I know about Audie Crooks and Turner Bees, that was that girl from Duke that be dunking, you know what I'm saying? Even though she didn't dunk in a game. I watched highlight. And we lost to fucking Duke. Don't get me started. We blew that team out and lost it. Kim Mulkey, son, don't get me. I'm in a good mood. So we're not gonna talk about over radio Kim Mulkey today. We're not. But yeah, the NIL helped popularize, and when there's money involved, that's where talent comes. You know, and better athletes will choose this avenue because they can make money. And so now, after a couple of years of building a base, and now that Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese on that year 3, people like Paige Beckers, because the next year, you know, they had some good rookies, Paige Beckers and them. But this year, Seattle has 9 rookies that's hooping. I've never seen in 1 year such a massive jump in talent. Like it's actually incredible. The New York Liberty, they got aged out the league in 1 year. All those stars on that team from the old guard, done. Stewie, somebody saying Stewie and Asia were the 2 best players in the league. I'm looking, huh? I mean, Stewie, she's good. She's just not a good player. Look on the Liberty, that team garbage. She needed 17 free throws and was bitching about free throws. Son, she ain't cold like that. I'm watching these girls move, so they too slow. These new girls are fast as shit. The old guard, they slow as shit. Asia too slow. Stewie, too slow. Brianna Stewart, too slow. They about to get run out the league. Son, in 1 year, they getting run out the league. Aces ain't gonna be what they are. That team too old. They about to get run out. So I'm telling you, New York, too old. They about to get run out. Let's see. Yeah, Shep. Most of this shit about Shepard. Yep, Shepard be MVP. Wilson is slow. You know, it's good that stuff that I'll say was part of the list anyway. So I was part of the notes anyway. So, you know, I guess I'm getting better. Yeah, Shepard was in that big body mode. You ever put that down? Especially, she scored 11 points in the third. Ooh, that's what I told her. I was like, hey, look, this game getting out of hand. Boom. And then in the fourth, when she took over that bitch too, at the end of the game, I was just thinking, I was like, where's Jessie at? She hasn't been involved. As soon as I'm thinking that, she saw everybody trying to throw the game away. Nah, y'all. Because that's how you know who the MVP is. But every play, they trying to deny her the ball every fucking second of the game. They'll put 2 on her. They had 3 people looking around. So Jessie Shepard was in MVP mode tonight. So she's my front runner for MVP right now. Another side, I'll be going all over the place. But hey, that's part of the charm of the chatter, I suppose, right? What else was I saying? Shepard, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, front quarter. Shepard refused to lose. Man. And now I noticed, but now that they started focusing on Shepard, Dallas has rallied behind her. She's a clear leader now. Now that it seems like she's being made the clear leader of the team. She needs to be. Like you are the clear number 1, the clear leader, the head of the snake. You're that dude. You're our Anthony Edwards, our SGA, our fucking Zion, our fucking, but our number 1 option, our star player, our franchise player. Not Paige Beckers. She might get that. I don't know. But just take the pressure off of Paige Beckers, because I think she'll do fine in the 4 quarters if it's perfectly established that Jessica Shepard is the franchise player going for it. And Paige Beckers is not waiting to become that. Just make Jessica Shepard, you're the franchise player. And I think Paige will play a lot better in clutch time without that weight on top of her. Because they tried to sell. They tried to sell hard. That tall girl, oh yeah, what was her name? She was pissing me off. Awak Kawir. She was like, she has absolutely no spatial awareness whatsoever. She is so bad at like fundamental basketball. But goddamn, is she a mother freaking shooter? I'm like, why is she even on the floor? There, I saw a hit. Oh goddamn, that's why. She literally like cannot play the game of basketball. She's like always turned around. I'm like, so what the fuck are you doing? Defensively, she's awful. And you that tall, you're terrible on the defense. But she gets some rebounds here and there. But she could shoot that bitch. She stretched the flow out. She could shoot. I wrote a name. I didn't even write the stats down. I was in the middle of writing the stats. But I wish there was show plus minus on these places. I got to go way out the way to find them. And I don't feel like it. Like I said, I type in Google or CBS and type. I don't know why women's they don't want to put the plus minus for the women's game. I don't know what the logic behind that could be. That's what it is. Shepard looked like Jokic. Yeah, and as I write, Shepard looked like Jokic. She got her assist for a triple-double. The universe was talking. You know what I'm saying? As I'm writing that shit, she got a triple-double. Ooh, tall girl can shoot. That's right. That tall girl can shoot. And Becca's tried to sell. That's the last thing I wrote. Becca's tried to sell. Yes. All right. Just make Shepard the franchise player and let it be known to everybody on the team. And I don't think Paige will take advantage. You know what I'm saying? That just say, hey, look, you could take over the reins at some point. But for right now, this is Jessica's team. This is Jessica's team. Right now, this is her team. And just period. You know? All right. Now, let's see. I like to keep it under 40. Let's see. 10 more minutes. Let me see if I can cover the fever in about 10 minutes. So let me go over some of the stats, I guess. Arike Omawalu, she was 6, so she was 1.0 field goals. Jessie Shepard, 22, 20, and 10. AZ Fudd, okay. I guess I'll talk about AZ Fudd too. Should I do 2 videos? Nah, I'll do all in one. AZ Fudd with the 22, 3, and 2, 9 of 15 shooting. Great job. I don't know if I went Paige Becker's 20 points, but 8 of 18. They said because she takes so many shots because she feels like, she's a franchise player, she should be. But honestly, you should be taking less shots. They got some other ballers on the team. I like Paige. Paige is better when she gets her stuff in the flow. But whenever she has to force something up, nah, chill out, Paige. 15 shots a game at the most. Really, really probably like 10 to 12. Jessie needs to be the number one option, period. All right, and now let's go to the Indiana Fever. They were holding Boston earlier. The offensive foul, they kept on the bench with foul trouble. But she does that move. That her move is an offensive foul. Like, I noticed when she was fed, she really pushed that arm out. But now, Golden State Valkyrie, they are some freaking floppers. I was rooting for them because I took them on the money line. And I parlayed them and the Spurs on the money line, a whole bunch of shit. So yes, I did good on that. But once again, good. I only did like 75 cents bet. So hey, I don't do a lot. Once again, I just do the game. So like I say, it's kind of weird. I'd be hitting these like high fucking tickets and shit, but for like $3, $4. You know what I'm saying? Because I put like 50 cents, 75. But that's a smart way to do it. Fine, like. Once again, if you do something, be responsible. What was I saying? Yeah, it was holding Boston, but also apparently, yeah. Clark is a fucking brat. God damn. So, she's like Trae Young. Well, young Trae Young. Trae Young has matured. That's one of the knocks on Trae Young. So I guess I can't say why people. I can't say I don't understand completely why they don't like him, even though it's still stupid. Why people don't like Trae Young, because the media tells y'all not to like Trae Young. But Trae Young was a bit of a brat, and when the ball wasn't in his hands, he was kind of pouting around, just waiting for it. And Caitlin Clark, she did something the first half, somebody was D'ing her up really hard, and she had to give the ball up, and she was like jumping up and down in the middle of the place, stomping her feet. I'm like, who the fuck does that? Grow up. What are you doing? How old are you? You're like 23 years old, 24 years old. Shit. You're grown. She played awful this game. Awful. But they're not risky. Caitlin Clark is a very weird player. You know what I'm saying? Like, she does so much good that only she can do. And then she does so much trash and all the shit can do. Like, complaining. It's like the Luka and LeBron effect. Yeah, I guess everybody complains, but Luka and LeBron complain way more than anybody needs to. A lot of people complain in the W. All right, so I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something about the Fever. But whatever, back to the Fever. Timpson, Timpson and Clark started catching on in the second half. Clark didn't have a good game, but she did some things in the second half. I think I said something about her being a brat. Yeah, pretty sure. But that's over. That was in the first quarter. We're in the second quarter. But congrats on Caitlin Clark for reaching 500 assists, the first player to reach 500 assists, the fastest player to reach 500 assists, and she now has the highest assist per game ratio. Man, just imagine how much higher her assists would be if the shot maker was a little bit higher. But it's getting there. It's getting there. People's game, like I said, the WNBA games is developing. Oh man, I did not say the W in the beginning of the video. But, you know, it is what it is. Golden State controlled most of the game. It really feels as though the Fever was just like hanging around for most of the game. At one point, Golden State was up by like 11. But then the Fever clawed their way back. One thing I did want to say, now Caitlin Clark had 5 turnovers, which is more than the entire Aces had. And I guess because I want to make the note that the Aces, they pretty much got blown off the court. Like the refs tried to help them out, but they lost by a comfortable margin with only 5 turnovers. The Aces only turned the ball over 5 times, and the Wings turned it over 10 times. Jessie Shepard MVP. When she saw them collapse, give me that. But I said because Clark had 5 of them on her own, and really a lot of the ones came at the end of the game when the game was on the line, which I'm grateful for because my parlays hit, you know. But I was like, those are some bad turnovers at the end of the game. But Burton looking good. So like Burton, Burton was on my no pick list because I picked her for one game. She had like every game she had 20 PRA in every single game, at least. And I picked her one time to get 20 PRA and boom. And I was like, all right, you're on my ban list forever, you know. But she came back today. She wanted to hoop today. Fever, it was taking control after Burton came. After Burton was doing the thing, but the Fever came back. And they looked like the tide was changing in the third quarter. But the energy changed, yes. The bench when Chin came in. Your point guard. You know how I feel about point guard play. When Chin came in, she didn't really do so much on the stat sheet. But it settled everybody down. The point guard just puts, one of the greatest things about the point guard that doesn't go on the stat sheet is that the point guard puts everybody into their natural positions. So that's less thinking. That you increase the efficiency of everybody else. When Chin came in, Golden State looked like they were about to like fumble this game. I could feel the energy. They were like chucking up shots. You know what I'm saying? They were just doing too much. I'm like, son, what y'all doing? Y'all doing too much. And Chin came in, boom, relaxed everything. Your point guard relaxed the game. And everybody was in their position so they could perform better. Point guard play, yeah. That old girl, she hit 2 threes. I forgot which girl hit 2 threes. But as soon as Chin came in, they generated 2 open looks. Because you need a point guard, even if they're not doing something under the stat sheet. You know I'm going to bring up Jose Alvarado, seeing him over here with the Knicks. How important. I'm going to keep saying how important a point guard is, even if they're not putting up stats, especially if they're not putting up stats. Because you need somebody who puts everybody else into their position so that they can put up stats. But casuals and NBA people don't understand that. So now my Pelicans don't got no fucking 2-point guard. But it's the whole thing. So Golden State, when, same thing with Paige Beckers, and I talked about before, they need a true point guard in there to take the pressure off of Paige, or at least a backup too. Because Paige, she's a point guard. She's really a true combo guard. I think she forces herself to shoot more. But don't think I already talked about that game. Clark, she hit a big three in the fourth, but after that she didn't do much. After she hit that three, she cost them the game, really. Yeah. I see Johnson. Oh, Johnson had a career high 13 points. Johnson was balling. Johnson was the only one that really balled out. Yeah, I won't do these stats down. She was 7 of 10. Kelsey Mitchell was 5 of 13. Didn't really play well. Kelsey Mitchell has been struggling a little bit. Boston, she was in foul trouble all game, so 4 of 11. Clark, 3 of 12. Ew. But they gonna bounce back. Like this was a heavyweight fight. The Golden State didn't look like they were ready. Really, they looked like little sister until Chen came in, and the coach called a great timeout to refocus them at the end of the game, man. Because she felt the slipping, I felt the slipping, the stadium felt the slipping, and they was able to corral it back. Even though it still wasn't clean at the end, that turnover at the end. So they had the game one, just hold the ball. And girl, like I said before, in the W for whatever reason. The women don't attack the basket when they have a clear open lane a lot of time when there's nothing between them and the basket. There was a couple plays again where on the right side, they on the side of the basket, and all I have to do is turn this way, use your left hand, seal to right, use the left, put it up. But I guess a lot of people in W don't use their left hand. So I saw that happen again. And at the end of the game, when they're trying to foul and shallow in or whatever, and she held the ball. Like, son, there was nobody by the basket. I'm like, son, bitch, you don't put that ball on the floor, go jam that bitch, or at least go lay it up. And she sat there waiting for somebody to come foul her. I'm like, son, the basket's right there. It's like 10 seconds on the clock. Go up and make that damn layup. That's why I said the rim should be lowered by 5 inches. You bitch complain. But the dunk is the most efficient shot in the game. That is the most effective shot in the fucking game. And that's an option that you need to have in that situation. Boom. Put the ball on the floor, run up, and a quick little boom dunk should have been an option for her size. If the goal was like 4 or 5 inches shorter, she could have boom, put the ball on the floor, went up, boom, and dunked it. Game 3, like I said, from a dude who plays so many different games. I say game, but really competition, because, people, words, what I'm saying, they don't really understand. When they hear game, they associate with this. But I compete at so many different things. So I understand what it takes to be good at it, just in general, at something, you know what I'm saying? And you need to have options for almost every situation if you want a good, healthy, competitive game. If there's something that's oppressive, you need to have at least a couple defensive options for that. If defense is oppressive, you need to have a couple offensive outlets for that. And that's the answer. The dunk is just an answer to a lot of different shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just an aesthetic. It's part of the game of basketball. So when a lot of women say, oh, you just want to see us dunk, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's part of the game. It's an essential part of the game. Rim protection. There's a whole part of rim protection you're not even playing. You're not even playing the same game. Lower the rim. By just 4 or 5 inches. Not even a whole 6. Like, son. This isn't that the ball's already smaller. The 3-point line's already shorter. So, what difference it is to lower the fucking rim? That play right there almost drove me. Of course, this guy had my parlay up. I'm saying that play right there almost drove the hell out of me. Man, this is a long one. Goddamn. I guess that's it. I'll go over the stats. Nah, I think I'm on those stats already. They all good. I didn't even write down the Golden State Valkyrie stats. It was too much. But, whew, if y'all made it through it, y'all the troopers are probably going to cut some of it down. But, I don't know. I'm your boy Rooster. Wake your ass up. Make sure you check out all my different video links. I have a few playlists. I have a whole bunch of different stuff. Like I said, I'm still a little bit woozy. But I'm gonna go lay down and eat me a real breakfast. Like I some real. Bye. I'm your boy Rooster. The wall is never sleep. Yeah.